ICT textbook is boring, right? Do you believe it's too voluminous, containing a lot of information? Even if you read it 1,000,000 times, you might still not be able to answer a GCSE questions correctly. We have a solution for you. We have created all-in-one GCSE summary slides for each chapter. It covers the whole curriculum. We present it in a concise manner, all you need to be an A-star student. The slide is well prepared by an ICT Cambridge examiner. After each topic, we provide a GCSE-related questions with answers. Download now. www.highsayteam8easy.com.
Hi, in this lesson you are going to learn about hardware and software. That's one of the subtopics you have in chapter 1. Why do I make this video? Usually, things you learn in textbooks, they look quite simple. However, when you see IGCSE equations, you will find it quite difficult to answer. So that is why I made this video, in order to link what we have learned so far to IGCSE equations. Every one of you try to watch this video from A to Z. I'm expecting every one of you that is related to hardware and software. That is one. Now, what is hardware? If you are asked this question, what is an hardware? You just say hardware is a physical component of a computer system. Or if you don't want to say this, you can say it's a physical part of a computer system. So there are a lot of them. Any part of the computer system you can touch, that's what you call an hardware. A very good example is mouse, motherboard, as well as a sound card, keyboard, and any other part of the computer you can touch. We have two types of external hardware, and some they are internal hardware. When we say external hardware, these are part of the computers outside the CPU case. A very good example is keyboard, projector, microphone, speaker, and any other peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means the devices we usually use with computer system. Microphone is not a computer. Keyboard is not a computer. Speaker is not a computer. Projector is not a computer. Even mouse is not a computer. However, they are peripheral devices. These are the devices we use together with computer system. So they are being regarded as external hardware. And we do have a lot of examples for this. Cambridge now usually asks only few questions on this part. They don't ask so much questions. Just only once in a while, they might ask you to identify these devices. Now, let's talk about the internal hardware now. Internal hardware, these are the part of the computer inside the CPU case. I believe you know what is CPU. This picture is an example of a CPU. Now, Cambridge used to ask questions on their functionalities. As you can see, a lot of things, a lot of components inside this CPU. Now, Cambridge might ask you, what is the function of motherboard? What is the function of sound card, network card, graphic card, video card, and so on. Now, let me talk about each and every one of these. Have you seen something like this before? What we call a computer processor. That is Central Processing Unit, CPU. Usually CPU, another name you can call it is a processor. If you don't want to say CPU, you can say a processor. It's also the same thing. Now, processor is just a device which carries out system instruction. Just know that it carries out system instruction. That's the function of a CPU. Now, let's talk about another internal hardware, motherboard. Have you seen something like this before also? Motherboard. If you have a desktop or you have a laptop, if you open it, for sure you will see this, motherboard. Motherboard is just a circuit board which is connected to the main component of the computer system. You don't need to memorize this. The only thing you need to know here is a circuit board. Just know that. And it's the one that connects all other main components of the computer system. Now, another one is what we call a graphic video card. Graphic video card. What's the function? Of course, the function is just as simple as it enables the computer to process and display graphics. That's just only the function, and that's what the Cambridge wants you to know. Now, next one. Let's talk about the sound card. Sound card, what's the function? It's also enable the computer to input, process, and deliver sound. Anything has to do with sound, that's the sound card. Anything has to do with display, that's the video card. You see, it's quite simple, quite easy to understand, right? Then the next something like this before. This is what we call internal hard disk. Of course, we do have different types of hard disk. We have the portable one, but this one is usually inside the CPU, inside your laptop or inside your desktop. When you open it, you will see it. This is what we call internal hard disk. Now, internal hard disk, what's the function? It's just as simple as it stores information. What are the information? Software, file, folders, and some other things in your computer. That's what hard disk does. Now, let's talk about another one. Of course, you will have guessed what is this. So this is a computer memory, right? Computer memory, any data or instruction that are to be processed by the CPU, compulsory, it needs to be placed into main memory first. The first thing, it needs to be in the main memory. Now, but the memory, it has two types. One, we call it RAM, random access memory. Another one is this, we call it read-only memory. Don't forget, memory, computer memory is of two types. One is a random access memory, RAM. The second one is read-only memory, ROM. Now, when we say RAM, random access memory, what is the function? The function is all the programs I'm using in my computer currently, they are being stored inside RAM. Currently running programs in your computer, they are being stored in the RAM. Now, data stored in the RAM, when I shut down my computer now, if I turn off my computer, all the data I open, all the programs I open, let's say if I open Google Chrome or any other program, all the program I open on my computer, they will get deleted. It's just as simple as that. Those are the function of RAM. And the last one, RAM is a volatile. Why do we say it's a volatile? So it means it easily, it stores data temporary. So the data doesn't store in the RAM permanently, it's just only temporary. Now, the opposite of RAM is ROM, read-only memory. We said that it stores programs for RAM currently running on your computer. However, for ROM, it stores startup instructions. The data stored in ROM, it remains there even when you shut down your computer, when you turn off your computer. Then it is a non-volatile. It means it stores your data permanently. Don't forget, we are going to refer to all this one when we are solving some past papers. IGCSE, Cambridge, they always like this question. Now, let's go. The next internal hardware we are going to talk about is network card. As you can see, network card. What is the function? It's just very easy. It provides the computer with a network, which is internet connection. All right, that's a function. Either maybe through wireless signal or by using cable, Ethernet cable. Now, the next one is what we call optical disk drive. Optical disk drive. What's the function? Optical disk drive allows optical disk to run on the computer. So, of course, it might be CD, it might be DVD, it might be Blu-ray, anything that is optical, then optical disk drive, it allows it to run on your computer. Now, the next one is what we call the power supply. Power supply, of course, it's connected to main power source and to give power to the computer system. All right, these are the main components of internal hardware. Now, let us look at some IGCSE questions. You see, it's very easy. This is all what IGCSE is actually looking for you. Cambridge is looking for you to know. Let us look at some questions related to what we have learned so far. Now, this is the first question. This question says, complete the following sentences using the most appropriate words from the list below. Question number 1, the physical component of a computer. Do you remember this? Physical component of a computer system. What is that? Hardware. Hardware is the answer. You remember when we are talking about the definition of hardware, we said it is a physical component of a computer, or you can say it is a physical part of a computer system. All right, next one. The program and data of a computer are called, what do we call it? Of course, software. We are going to talk about software after this. Then next one. The next one is the device used to input sound is called what? Microphone. The one that we use to input sound into our computer. It is called microphone. Excellent. And next one, the device used to store data is called, can you guess? Hard disk. Excellent. The answer is hard disk. So you see, it's very easy, right? Okay, let's go to next question. Let's go to next question. But before we go, let me quickly remind you this. You have to make sure you write the answers exactly the way it is written in the options, because this one is a short answer question. I am an examiner, and we always look for mistakes, spelling mistake in this kind of question. Cambridge, they do not give any mercy when it comes to this kind of question, because you've been given options already. You have no reason not to write it correctly. Microphone, it has been written for you. You just need to write it in the correct place. Software, it has been written for you. You just need to write it in the correct place. So make sure you take your time and you write the correct answer. All right. Now let's look at another question. This one, a company is setting up a video conference. Name 3 computer hardware devices they will need. What are the hardware devices they will need for video conference? Do you know what video conference is? Something like this. When you do video conference with people, what are the hardware devices they will need? For sure, they will need things like speakers, like projectors, like microphones, like webcams, and lots more. But since this one is a 3 marks, this question is 3 marks, then you need to give only 3 answers only. Write down the most appropriate type of internal hardware that fits the following description. A volatile device, that is, do you remember what we say about volatile when we are talking about types of computer memory? We said RAM, random access memory, and read-only memory. Which one is volatile? Yes, the volatile one is RAM, random access memory. Don't forget. Then, second one, this is the main printed circuit. You remember? Main printed circuit board. What was that? Exactly, that's motherboard. Next, a non-volatile. Of course, the opposite of volatile is non-volatile. What is that? So we said that one is read-only memory. All these kind of questions, you are not even expected to lose only single mark, even half a mark. You are not expected to lose because it's very easy to know. Now, the last one, electronic device provides a computer with the ability to produce sound. What is that? That's the sound card. Excellent. That's the sound card. All right. When you are writing your answer, make sure you write it correctly. Sound card, ROM, ROM, motherboard. Make sure you write it correctly. So don't lose marks because of this. Let's move to another question. Now, this question says, this handles all the system instruction. Do you remember that? The internal hardware that handles all the system instruction, that is CPU. Central Processing Unit, CPU, Central Processing Unit. Second one, a printed circuit board. Of course, they also repeat the question. That's what I told you earlier. You just need to master some key points. Cambridge always, they used to repeat questions so much. A printed circuit board, what is that? That is motherboard. What about this? This generates output to the speaker. Anything from the computer, anything has to do with sound, and it is an internal hardware. Of course, it's a sound card. No more, no less. Then this one, a type of memory where data is lost when the computer is switched off. Data is lost when the computer is switched off. Do you remember that? Of course, that is RAM, random access memory. A computer contains internal hardware. Then write down the item of internal hardware from the list to match the description. The first one, stores the startup instruction. Can you remember that? The one that stores all the startup instructions. Yes, it's wrong. It's wrong. Read only memory. Next, a magnetic medium that stores application. Magnetic medium, the one that stores application. Magnetic stores application. What is that? That is internal hard disk. Is the one that store information, store application files, as I mentioned earlier. That is internal hard disk. Next, memory, where data is lost when the computer is turned off, just like the previous question. What is that? Excellent. Random access memory. Next, generate images to display on the monitor. Generate images to display on the monitor. You remember what I called this one earlier? That is video card. Anything that has to do with sound card. Anything that has to do with display video, that is video card. All right, next. This question, it wants you to identify these 4 hardware devices. The first one is quite easy to know. This is laptop computer. What about the second one? Of course, this is a laser printer. The third one, of course, this one is the barcode reader. And the last one, any idea? Excellent. This one is the graphic tablet. Graphics tablet. Now, software. What is a software? We say software, these are a set of instructions runs in a computer system. The most important thing is set of instructions. In as much as you made mention of instruction, Cambridge will give you marks for this. Or if you don't remember this, you can just say software are programs which control computer system. Softwares are programs which control computer system. All right. Now, types of software. We do have 2 types of software. One is application software. How many software you can recognize here? Of course, you can see Mozilla Firefox. You can see Photoshop. What other one? Microsoft Word, Internet Explorer. So you can see Clean, CC Cleaner, and some other softwares here. Application software are designed to allow users to complete specific tasks. The key word here is specific task. Any software that allow you to do a specific task, that's what we call an application software. For example, Microsoft Word. What do we use Microsoft Word for? To type. No more, no less. To edit our document. Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, all of them, they are browsers. What do we use them for? Just to browse internet. You cannot type a letter, you cannot say you want to type a letter and you want to use Google Chrome. That's not what it's used for. Google Chrome is being used for a specific purpose, which is browsing internet. What about PowerPoint software? To create presentation. If you want to create a presentation, you will never use Microsoft Word for that. So any application which is being designed to do or to carry out, it allows you to do only specific task, specific purpose. That's what we call an application software, and we do have a lot of them. Microsoft Word, Google Chrome, Adobe Photoshop, and lots more. All right, let's talk about the second types of software. The second types of software is what we call system software. The previous one, application software, system software. What is system software? Just very easy. It's just a type of software that controls the hardware. No more, no less. Only that. Software which control hardware devices. As you can see from this picture, is the one that is next. System software, it communicates direct with the hardware. All right. Now, if you don't remember anything, if Cambridge asks you this question and you don't remember anything, just remember control hardware device. System software, it control hardware devices. Examples of system software, we do have operating system. I'm going to do a separate video on operating system, so we'll be talking about the user interface. All right, GUI and CLI, I will do separate video on that. But for now, examples of system softwares are operating system, e.g. Windows, iOS, Linux, Android. All right. Another example is device driver, e.g. printer drivers. Another one is utility, e.g. antivirus or antivirus. Then another one is linkers. What's the function of the linkers? It combines object files into a single program. And finally is compilers. Convert high-level language into machine code. Don't forget these 5. They are very, very important. Let me mention them again. What's the first one? Operating system. Excellent. The second one? Device driver. Excellent. The third one? Utility. The fourth one? Linkers. And the last one? Compilers. All these 5, they are very important. All these one are the examples of system software. Now, let us treat some questions. You see, we don't have so much to study. In your textbook, you have a lot of stories. Very difficult to understand. But now, I've already break it down. This is exactly what you need for your IGCSE. If you understand this, for sure you will get a star in your IGCSE. All right? Now, let us treat some questions related to software. The first one, this question says, a computer system consists of hardware and software. Explain what is meant by software. What is that? You remember the definition we gave earlier. However, don't forget, this is 2 marks, which means you have to give 2 points. We said that these are programs run in a computer system. That is only 1 point. You will get only 1 mark. You need to give another point. It's either you give another definition or you give examples. You will say, for example, Microsoft Word, Windows, then Cambridge will give you the second mark. Make sure whenever you are asked a question, the number of the questions, the number of the responses or of the points you are going to give, it must be equivalent to the number of the awarded marks. For example, this one is 2 marks. Compulsory, you have to mention 2 points. Otherwise, if you mention only 1 point, you get only 1 mark. But if you give examples, for sure you will get mark for example also. All right. Now, in this case, you give definition, you give example, then you will get your 2 marks. Now, let's see another question. This one says ROM is a real optical memory. Is that correct? Not at all. That's not correct. So, what is the full meaning of ROM? Read-only memory. Now, RAM stores the instruction you are currently working on. Is that correct? Yeah, excellent. That is correct. ROM stores the BIOS. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. BIOS is the same thing as the startup instructions. Startup instructions, when you look at the previous definition I gave. And the last one, RAM allows the users to read and write data. Does it allow the user to read and write data? Yes, it allows. So that's correct. When we say read and write, what does that mean? Read and write means copy and delete. In the RAM, it copies data. Then when you turn off or you shut down your computer, all the data will be wiped away, which means they will be deleted. So you can read and write, you can copy and delete in the RAM. That's what it means. Now let's see next question. The next question says, tick whether the following are examples of application software or system software. Word processing, Microsoft Word, is it application? Yes, it's application because it is being designed for a specific purpose. What about compiler? You remember the 5 examples of system software I gave earlier? Yes, compiler is one of them. Compiler. Interpreter? No, interpreter is not among them. Then it is an application software. Spreadsheet. Yes, spreadsheet is an application. A very good example of a spreadsheet software is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel. What do we use it for? For data modeling. No more, no less. That's what we use it for. All right. Now, let's see another question. This question says, dash software is designed to manage computer hardware. Can you still remember that? The one that is designed to manage computer hardware. To manage computer hardware. What kind of software is that? That's system software. System software. Next. This type of software is an example. Dash software examples include word processing. What is that? That's an application software. The third one produces output in the form of hard copy. Of course, that one is a printer. And finally, convert high-level language program into machine code. Can you remember that? We just talked about it a few seconds ago. That is a compiler. Excellent. That is a compiler. Next question. This one, tick the 3 most accurate statements regarding computer hardware. The first one is not correct. Why? Because it's supposed to be central processing unit. It is not computer processing unit. The second one, data in RAM is not lost. No, it is lost. The second one is not correct also. ROM, yes, this one is correct. It is a read-only memory. We need 2 more. Which other one is also correct? This one is also correct. A touch screen. I'm going to do a separate video on the remaining chapters, all right? But for now, just know that touch screen, it is used as an input as well as output devices. And finally, the control unit is part of the CPU. It's part of the CPU. The remaining options, they are not correct, all right? Next. An electronic device that plugs into a computer and contains the key for a piece of a software is called, what do you call this one? A dongle. This is called a dongle. Now, the scrambling of data is known as, excellent, this one is encryption. What about this? A security process that uses photons to enable secure communication is called quantum cryptography. Excellent. And finally, a numeric code that is entered to enable payment to be made for a meal in a restaurant with a debit card is called, of course, that one is a PIN. It's called a PIN. So for those of you who didn't know what is a dongle, this is it. Usually when you have a mouse, you have wireless mouse, you need to have a dongle. Otherwise, it will not work. Let's see next question. This one says, an actuator is an item of a software. No, actuator is an hardware. It's not a software. So we are going to talk about this in chapter 2. Don't worry, I will teach you what is an actuator. But for now, just know the answer is false. Actuator, it is not a software. It is an hardware. Now, next one. Then for question number 2, hardware is the physical component of a computer system. Is that correct? Yes, excellent. That's correct. When computer controls the operation of the computer, software controls the operation of the computer. Is that correct? For sure, it's correct. Then a spreadsheet is an example of a system software? Not at all. It's not an example. Spreadsheet is an example of an application software. So the answer here is false. Now, next question. Tick whether the following are examples of application or system software. Linker. Is it system or application? Of course, system. Database management system is application. Let's say you don't even know, is this one just the only thing you are going to use? Don't worry. I give you 5 examples of system software already. Operating system, device drivers, then compilers, then linkers, as well as utility. All those 5, they are system software. Anything other than them, they are application software. So that's a very easy way of differentiating between application software and system software. What about this? So photo editing software, of course. This example is the Photoshop. So this one is an application software, and compiler, for sure, as I mentioned earlier, is a system software. Next, this type of software lets you manage the hardware. You see, they are just repeating the question. This type of software lets you manage the hardware. What is that? Is a system software. Give an example of this type of software. Okay, example is Windows, iOS, Android, and so on. Then this type of software lets you carry out tasks such as creating a document on an image, a specific task. What is that? It's an application software, and a very good example is Google Chrome, Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel, and some other types of software. Next, describe the differences between ROM and RAM. What are the differences? Can you still remember? We talked about ROM earlier as well as RAM. We said that data stored in RAM, they are volatile. Volatile means when you shut down your computer, all the data will wipe away. When you shut down the computer, all the data will be deleted. That's the meaning of volatile. Then we say that RAM contains programs currently running in the computer. Programs that are currently running in the computer, then they are being contained in the RAM. Then data stored in ROM are non-volatile, just like the opposite of RAM. Then finally, we say ROM contains BIOS or startup instructions. These are just 4 points, 4 marks, 4 points. Don't give less. If you give 3 points, it means 3 marks. But I will actually advise you give as many points as possible so that you just leave it for the examiner to mark any 4 that is correct for you. So if you do know more answer, then it's better you write. Don't just be stingy. All right, you write as many as possible, then you leave it for the examiner to mark the correct one for you. Next question. This one says control software, application software and system software. Control software, which one is that? Control software is an application because it's just for specific purpose. Compiler is a system software. Word processing is an application, and device driver is a system software. Next, this one, monitoring atmospheric pressure. Monitoring atmospheric pressure. What is that? That kind of software is called control software. All right. Then the second one is called measuring software, keeping temperature constant in a greenhouse. We are measuring something. So that's measuring software. Then what about this? This is spreadsheet software, and creating a slideshow. What is that? Presentation software, e.g. PowerPoint. And finally, finding information on the internet. What kind of software is that? We say internet browser. Internet browser, it can, e.g. Google Chrome, then Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, and some other types of browser. Next question. Explain, giving examples of their use, the difference between ROM and RAM. That's just very similar to the question we mentioned earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already explained this one earlier. Next question. Name 2 types of software they might use, and for each, write down what they will use it for. For this task, you need to read the question first. Another group of students are producing a hard copy brochure for the event. These students will need to prepare material to include in this document. Now, name 2 types of software they might use for this purpose. Of course, they will need document editing software, e.g. Microsoft Word. Now, how do they want to type? For sure, they will need Microsoft Word document editing software. Then, what do they use it for? They will use it to type and edit their text. Okay, what other software they might need? They will need internet browser, e.g. Google Chrome. To do what? What are they going to use it for? To search the internet to find information. What other software they might use? Of course, they will need something like photo editing software, e.g. Photoshop or any other photo editing software. What would they use it for? They will use it to edit their images. In the part 2 of this video, which is according to your curriculum, I'm going to talk about the main components of computer system. I don't want to make this video very long. That's why I'm going to separate this chapter 1 into 5 videos. Make sure you follow along. At the end of the fifth video, I'm very sure you should be confident enough. Whenever you see any question in chapter 1 in IGCSE, for sure you should be able to get it 100%. Alright, see you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can get notifications immediately I upload new videos. See
ICT
you.
textbook is
Bye.
boring, right? Do you believe it's too voluminous, containing a lot of information? Even if you read it 1,000,000 times, you might still not be able to answer a GCSE questions correctly. We have a solution for you. We have created all-in-one IGCSE summary slides for each chapter. It covers the whole curriculum. We present it in a concise manner. All you need to be an A-star student. The slide is well prepared by an ICT Cambridge examiner. After each topic, we provide IGCSE-related questions with answers. Download now. www.ictmadeeasy.com